So this was an article that I wrote along with Dr. Darren White, and we were looking at the impact of team leaders' perceived integrity on their subordinates' behavior. And at the time, we were pretty astounded because there wasn't any research out there showing this. So we were actually the first ones to look at this, and it was a pretty cool thing for us at the time. We found there was a link between the team leader integrity and the team members' ethical intentions towards their team members, towards the team itself, and towards the organization. And that makes sense, right? Because if you are having someone act negatively or poorly around you, especially if they're your leader, you're going to reflect that on the people that are immediately in contact with you, and in this case, your team members. It also makes sense that you would reflect this toward your organization because for most people, their leader, their manager, their direct contact is the organization to them, right? There's other people in the organization, obviously, and other people in the company, but whoever your direct manager is, that's kind of your reflection of the company. People who perceive their team leader as having high integrity were less likely to commit unethical acts. And again, that just makes sense because you may be an unethical person, but if you have an ethical leader, you're less likely to be unethical and to go ahead with those unethical acts. The relationship was strongest in ethical situations impacting the team or the organization. So it's a pretty simple article. So we want to end up with what the so what is. Well, the big so what is that the ethical behavior at the top impacts the ethical behavior at the bottom. It's a downward negative spiral. So if you have a group of leaders in charge of the organization, the board, the CEOs, the CFOs, whatever you want to, however the organization is set up, right, their behavior impacts the behavior below them. So the article here is about ethics, but it makes sense in other areas too, such as corporate social responsibility. If lower level employees are seeing their upper level managers acting socially responsible, they are in turn more likely to reflect that same behavior and be socially responsible themselves, which is a good thing for the organization, for the community, and their families.